And then one day, it just hit him. Coach, you all right? You want me to play what?
Foot action's also where to get Nike shoes and stuff you wear when you're doing whatever.
Cordell, get in there and punt.
For every action, there's foot action.
Could the Steelers afford to lose? Second down and 10, and they set up the screen. Not a pretty screen, but a very effective one as Bettis goes out of bounds, but not until he picks up the first down with 9 seconds left in the period. A road win yesterday at Seattle. Will have Kansas City against Pittsburgh, in fact, in 3 weeks.
There's Bettison again. I'll say what a cheap.
Right here on ABC as Thurman Thomas on second and short gets wrapped up for a loss approvingly.
Kirkman goes about 270. He is a big linebacker, but he's really matured this year. Comes down the line of scrimmage and turns right into Thomas. Thomas turns upfield and boom, there it is.
First down, Steelers. Good hole, right side. Foster to the pin. He's going to score. We've been harping on that right side of the line, and once again, kicked out Bobby Hughes. And where is everybody in the secondary? Kyle Clifton cut to the outside, so he wasn't there in the middle. Dwight Stone blocks on Brim.
Kelly from the 34 on first down. Kelly going deep over the middle, and it is picked off by Levon Kirkland. A tremendous interception for a linebacker intended for Lonnie Johnson.
Willie Mays would have been proud of that catch. Talk about over the shoulder.
I told you how big he is. He was about 270 pounds. He one-hands it. He's really come into his own this year. Kelly thought he had 6.
Running completely away from it.
Bingo. Second and 4. And it is picked off by Rod Woodson.
Goodbye.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Oh, we told you he would gamble. If that would have been a hitch and go, it would have been 6 the other way, but he will take that chance. Boy, did he eat that up. I'm not sure Rod Woodson even took a step backwards in defensing that pass pattern. He is so confident in his ability to recover from a mistake. If he went back, it couldn't have been more than a yard or so. Whoa, did he eat that alive. Top of your screen. Trying to get the ball out to Bill Brooks, and he timed it out absolutely perfect. Boy, it's hard to smother one any more than that. Rod almost hurt himself trying to slow down.
Back for a touchdown. He has 4 others on returns, the 7th of his career. 10-0, Pittsburgh.
So far, they're doing exactly that.
On second and 20, Kelly pump fakes, and that doesn't fool anybody, and Kevin Green gets the sack.
Number 8 for Kevin Green and 30 for the Steelers. No, he's not. Kevin Green, really just 245 pounds. But look, he gets up underneath Parker, just runs him all the way back. You have to be a little more physical as an offensive lineman. You got to challenge a guy. This is still anybody's game here.
Here's Jourdain going nowhere. Jourdain, first-year player out of Southern Illinois, and the former Saluki is tackled by Kevin Green.
50 carries in 33 NFL games. He's the fullback. There's the blitz and the sack. Chad Brown. That is his 2nd sack of the ball game. That is the 12th for the Steelers on the year, and that is 15 times.
Eric Green, the big one in motion. Play action out of his own end zone. Brister going for the bundle. Has Dwight Stone wide open. He's got it inside the 40. Atwater's the only one back. Who can get him? He's out of bounds at the 3.
Bubby Brister pulls this one off. Nice fake into the line. He's got Dwight Stone, the fastest man on this team. Runs a 4.240. He's wide open. Brister lays the ball right. Watch him catch it without missing stride. Now, at this point, that 4.240 is starting to slow down because here comes Atwater. He feels Atwater coming on him and ends up trying to weave a little bit and steps out of bounds. You got to try to watch him. There is he out of bounds.
The Steelers trying to make it 28 on their side. Brister with all day for Eric Green. The tight end's got it. He's got a Pittsburgh touchdown.
Watch this catch and watch people bounce off these 280 pounds. There's a nice catch there. He goes, hey, all right, look out, man. And just rambles right into the end zone.
3rd down and 6. And late as well as Kirkland makes the interception at the 26-yard line.
His second of the night.
And
number
3rd
4.
of the season.
And number 4 against the Bills, although that's hardly Jim Kelly's fault.
And so the domination in this series continues. Pittsburgh just eats up the Bills in Pittsburgh.
1st and 10. Play action, pressure coming, and David Johnson slams him. It's picked up. Williams has it. Williams down the sideline. It should be a Steeler touchdown. I don't see flags. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Gerald Williams. David Johnson made the hit. Now, are there flags back upfield? No. 37 yards in the return for Gerald Williams, who got the start due to the injuries to Brian Hinkle, an outside linebacker. Williams in his 3rd year from Purdue.
Well, here, Boomer's got a little half-roll play action. Johnson coming off the corner, unblocked. Just wrecks Boomer. Boomer dropping the ball. That's what I was talking about. One of these old hands need to make a big play to get Pittsburgh.
Picked up by Washington with Corral to beat. Touchdown. No flags.
Reggie Barlow going up against Dwayne Washington. They went deep on Dwayne Washington earlier to soften him up. It didn't work. He reads the cut all the way as he comes underneath. The only danger here is looking to carry that football right there. You don't want to carry that ball out because you're being chased by Reggie Barlow in this case. He can strip you loose.
Washington comes as a free agent from the Minnesota Vikings. Brunell blocked by Baselli. Brunell swings a pass intercepted by Washington. He has Brunell to beat for a touchdown. No flag down. Washington will go in for his 2nd touchdown of the day. Can you believe it?
You have to take a chance in a situation like this and get the ball deep down the field. Dwayne Washington, who's had the game of, I tell you what, he is the player of the game. They don't just give him a game ball. I think they take him to Idaho, Ohio, where they make those Wilson balls and let him pick one out for himself. What a terrific ball game, start to finish for Dwayne Washington. But that one right there capped what was becoming a very suspenseful moment for the Pittsburgh fans.
Brown wasn't looking for it. Meggett picks it up, and Kevin Green drops him back at the Giant 45-yard line. Oh, my. A minus 26 yards on the play.
Brian Williams is the center.
Brown fumbles. Back to the 25. Picked up for a moment by the Steelers. And finally the Giants get it at the 12-yard line. Brian Williams, as he was trying to block for Brown, number 61, is injured.
The pocket begins to collapse. And Dave Brown, he can't sense what's going on, but you're right. These Steelers are trying to pick the ball up and score.
Down and 9. Whoa! What a play. Interception. Richard Shelton,
the guy who replaced David Johnson. Very difficult for the officials to watch. Control the football and both feet down. We should have a good picture of it here. Off Slaughter's hands. No control yet.
He's got
control now. I think
it's an interception.
I think so. Although, did you see the official?
Intercepted right to Ron Woodson. Woodson didn't have to move for it. Looking for some blockers on this side and gets a couple. Good piece of running.
Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Rod Woodson, his second interception of the year.
Woodson was definitely open. I don't know why he threw it here, but look at this. There's not a giant within 6 yards of him. Goodness.
And the confidence of Woodson, he could have taken it straight ahead, maybe made 5 or 10, but he saw all this territory and the blockers over here, so he returned it some 20 yards. His 30th career interception.
I'm serious. Look at that. There is barely a giant in the...
We're off to a good start here.
Here's Foster. He gets the first down and a lot more inside the 20. Barry Foster with a touchdown. 77 yards, 7 plays. Anderson for the point after. Barry Foster takes it in. 7-0 Steelers.
It's the deepest drive for Steelers today. Van Morris looking for a block. Gets a touchdown.
Man, there's a bunch of Steeler fans here. Not a pull, a fold block by Kalis, the right guard. Excellent block by John L. Williams there. Van Morris high steps, and Dave Brown threw the interception.
Comes the blitz. Burnell goes down. Didn't have time at all. Oliver Gibson and Levon Kirkland charging through.
2nd and 11. Tomczak to throw. Looks over the middle. Goes over the middle. Wide open at the 18-yard line. Now it's Dick Penn inside the 5 and into the end zone. 27 yards on the touchdown pass from Mike Tomczak, which, by the way, that's his first touchdown pass of the year.
Any more questions about why Bill Cowher's starting 2 separate wide receivers? And you get a guy like Dick Penn, you get Mills in this game, you let them get into the flow, you get them used to the defensive backfield, and you get them used to the quarterback too.
Spotted the 28, 2nd and 9. Stewart to the end zone. Touchdown, Courtney Hawkins.
He goes down the field. He's going deep. Good coverage by Figures. He's inside. The ball's thrown over the outside shoulder. Perfect pass by Cordell Stewart.
Right now. Here is a rollout. O'Donnell takes a look into the end zone, and the defense is there, but they can't knock it down. Eric Green makes the catch. Jeff Herrod was with him, but he couldn't knock the ball down. It went through his hands for a 27-yard touchdown, and the Steelers are right back in the game. Up and good, and the Steelers right back in the trail. 14-7. They'll kick off when we come back.
This is a dangerous situation with Rod Woodson back there now. He's at midfield already. Hit high, kick by Johnson. Woodson backpedals to the 45. Makes a great cut. Rod Woodson, look out! Lee Johnson, the punter, able to get him out of bounds. So dynamic, so exciting is Rod Woodson. He's already having a career so far this year, 3 interceptions. This guy, when he gets his hands on the football, is just electrifying. So fast, one of the fastest men in the entire National Football League, and Lee Johnson's just happy he ran out of bounds.
He had a 20-day holdout getting his new contract, and when you make a mistake like that, the people that you alienated during the course of that holdout, they're the first ones to point to something like that and say, see? Goodbye. Johnson's kick. Here's Rod Woodson. And Johnson can't make the tackle, and Woodson with a run back to the 50-yard line. Back in the league, and a great kick returner as well. It's almost a cliche to say what a great athlete he is. Many say the best in the league, and that could well be.
2nd and 9. Wilson for Brown. Can't hold on. It's intercepted. Woodson. He's going to score, Tim. Ron Woodson will score. Ron Woodson, 60 yards with the interception off a deflection.
Tim, first you're going to get the pressure up. Wilson has to make it. Watch the tip. Okay, the ball's behind. Woodson's right there in that zone. Rod Woodson is not only a fine pass defender, but one of the great return men in all of football, and here he shows you how simple he can make it.
15 to go. DeBerg throws, and he advertised where it was going. Rod Woodson picks it off. Dolphins fail to score over to
Here is Foster around the corner. Cuts back. 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Defensive coordinator last week against the Falcons was the number of missed tackles they had. There's one right there by Scott Mercer. Now as he comes upfield, everybody's bunched to the inside. Once he turns the corner, the only man left in the secondary there is Brian Washington. Merrill Hodge pushes him out of the way, and Foster's speed enables him to go the distance.
Ample time again for his eyes, and Woods looking for a block. The ball stripped away. Greg Lloyd's got it. Greg Lloyd on his way. Flag down on the play, but long after Lloyd took it into Cincinnati territory.
Well, that's the play of the game so far. The Steelers defense has been able to make some big plays and keep this game in control. Here, Greg Lloyd out there coming around, stripping the ball from Ickey Woods.
Range already.
We got a personal foul, face mask against Cincinnati during the return. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
So instead of a 5-yard face mask call, it's a flagrant call of 15 yards. And already they're within range of Gary Anderson.
Well, this is just a safe throw. Ickey's got a guy out there blocking on Lloyd. If he goes to the outside, he easily makes yardage. He comes back right into the defender trying to make a play. It backfires on him. Lloyd getting it.
On 2nd and 2, Pettis, first down, and more. In Bears territory. Finally, forced out of bounds by Ricardo McDonald. A gain of 42 yards.
That's the danger of stacking the line of scrimmage with an 8-man front. Marty Carter, the strong safety, comes up on this play, and he swaps out. If he misses Bettis, Bettis is going to do what he just did. Here comes the bust. There's the defense. There's Carter, swaps out with Charles Johnson, runs underneath him, and that's his hole. Marty Carter's got to fill that hole. When you run an 8-man front, everybody has their lane to fill.
Said no problems. Let's see what they do right here. First and goal. This time it is Bettis. And he is across the goal line for the touchdown.
That's why it's not a problem. Well, you know you're in trouble when you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers first and goal to go on the 1-yard line, and there's Jerome Bettis sitting back there in the backfield ready to build up a head of steam. He is going to be tough to stop.
Hawkins in motion. Bettis behind the quarterback. Stewart, shovel pass. A shovel pass to the fullback, the bus, and he's in the terminal. Jerome Bettis with a winning touchdown with 9:13 left in overtime. What a game. Overtime win for Pittsburgh, 23-17, overcoming a 10-0 deficit at halftime. Stay tuned for the World Series. For Phil Simms, Paul McGuire, I'm Dick Enberg. So long from Pittsburgh. You've been watching the NFL on NBC.
this is a knockout by the Steeler offense. And there's the knockout.
There's a knockout punch by Van Morris as he scores his first touchdown of the afternoon and his 5th of the season. The rookie from Texas Tech.
You think you want to try to arm tackle this 250, 260-pound running back? I don't think so. Not even close. And no one really legitimately in sight because the wide receivers and tight ends are doing a great job of blocking for him.
That's a bunch.
2nd and 10. There's Green again, and the ball is loose, and it is picked up by Kenny Davidson. Touchdown.
Well, this is the Greg Lloyd and Kevin Green show, and they're just taking turns, and Green turns in back to... Oh, there they are. They are together. That's right. Rub those noggins. They're booking their flight to Honolulu. I think they're both agreeing on the fact that they love dancing girls, and they're taking it out on Bobby Hebert. And any receiver who has the unfortunate job of catching that ball in the short territory. Kenny Davidson gets the touchdown, but Kevin Green did the work. Again, he victimizes Whitfield, their #1 draft choice last year. Well, Dan, one time he goes around him on the outside.
The 17.
He's wide to the right, the lower portion of your screen. There's Harbaugh. He's hit as he throws it. It's picked off by a Steeler. The Pittsburgh pass rush puts a lock on the game. Even Henry, number 76, as Hawk slams his helmet down. Kevin Green put the heat on. There he is, number 91. The Hawk. You know, they know he's got a pass, so they're rearing back and throwing the home run bombs. Look at the pressure. There's really nothing you can do. Kevin Green forcing 2 guys trying to block Green. He still forces his way in there. Watch Green fall in on the inside rush. And over 2 guys, he gets the push on Harbaugh. And then Henry with the kick.
Josh Miller punts it away. A line drive kick taken by Milburn from the 25. Oh, what a stop. Forced back by Richard Huntley after an 8-yard return, a 42-yard punt by Miller.
We have really seen some great hitting in this football game today.
Third and 10. Play action. And Kramer's pass picked off by Cornell Lake.
What a day for Cornell Lake. 6 tackles, 4 passes defended, and now a game-winning interception. How about this defense? Look at right up the middle. Here comes the pressure. There comes the heat on Eric Kramer. It's Dante Jones who's right on top of Kramer. Kramer forces this one, and Cornell Lake takes advantage.
His 13th career interception.
Watch the pressure. Kramer forces that one. Lake is waiting.
5-yard line. And Stewart out of the shotgun, hangs in there, open, wide open. Courtney Hawkins inside the 30, cuts it back, and Hawkins inside the 20, finally taken down at the 12-yard line by Tyrone Williams.
An outstanding job of pass protection by the Pittsburgh Steelers front wall. They picked up the blitz. Leroy Butler, as he is so prone to do, blitzes for the Packers. Butler, I believe, will come in from the left of your screen. He's picked up by Jermaine Stevens. And even though Stewart took a shot, they gave him a chance to find Hawkins downfield.
Great play design that time, too, to beat man-on-man coverage and let Hawkins.
With Johnson in motion. And Stewart looking that way and hits Johnson at the 6, and he takes it into the end zone. What in the world's going on there?
Well, look at Cordell looking downfield, then going to his second receiver like he did earlier on this drive, and Johnson makes a nice play to get into the end.
Here comes the blitz. There goes the pass. Another It is caught by Hines Ward, and the Georgia rookie with some great moves all the way to the 10-yard line.
I would tell you that if you're going to blitz, you better not let the guys get off the line of scrimmage so free and easy. And the only thing that I can think of the reason why the cornerback would be playing off is when you think back to the Minnesota game we had, where they were throwing the ball up and this ball
snap, 3rd and goal, late coming out of the huddle. They get it snapped at 1, and they give the ball to Chris Uamatu Ma'afala, touchdown.
Gary Anderson field goal. Foster gives it to Stone on the reverse, and O'Donnell is out there to block for him. And Stone takes it inside the 40 and is tripped up at the 27 by Rod Jones. Well, they finally worked one. Watch how this is set up. It's Foster to Stone. Now Dawson has released 63. You see the block he gets on Francis, and Jones ends up saving a sure. They're able to stop the Steelers. They get the break they need. They're down by 10. Esiason on a reverse roll. Look out. Incomplete. And they're lucky it was incomplete. Parnell Lake took care of Tim McGee.
A linebacker's knack of making the contact and just exploding when he hits. Like that.
Yes, like that.
First down throw by Kozar is going for the distance. And the ball is intercepted. An extraordinary play, and again it's Richard Shelton. That's his 3rd of the toughest quarterback in the AFC to intercept.
Achilles tendon. How about that? Webster Slaughter is the intended receiver. This young man from Liberty has had one whale of a day.
Kozar has now thrown for over 300 yards, but has had 3 intercepted.
By number 24, Richard Shelton of Liberty College.
Crowd noise is intense despite all the no-shows. Here's Kozar taking a look on the run, and Bernie Kozar is caught, and the Steelers win the game 17-10. Greg Lloyd with the sack, his 8th. And Chuck Noll has a winning day, and this the conclusion of his 23rd season. Is it his last?
Boy, look at all the cameramen around him.
Steelers 4 for 4 on 3rd down out of the shotgun.
See, and there goes Reggie again.
And Stewart's going to run for it. First down and a lot more inside the 20. Out of bounds at the 3.
Boy, Hines Ward comes back and gets a nice block down around the 10-yard line, but that was a sack all the way. Reggie White, I'm sure, can't believe that he didn't come up with Cordell Stewart. Is that he steps up in the pocket. This is what you want to do as a quarterback in the NFL. Step up, let the guys run them past you. Now he tries to fake a pass here. I don't know what that is. It's a Brett Favre move, I guess. But, you know, these are the types of things that make him so dangerous.